In this morning's U.S. Bank Economic 360, investors are always looking for diversification, and one of the best ways to improve your portfolio's asset mix is to consider international investments. U.S. Bank Vice President and Senior Portfolio Manager Mike Denneman is in the studio with Business Watch producer Kelly Leon to talk about including foreign stocks in your portfolio. Mike and Kelly.
Thanks, and Mike, thanks for being here this morning.
Good morning.
So we're talking about international investments.
Yep.
Sounds like a broad topic. So
yes.
How do you get started?
Well, that's a great question. I mean, we've talked a number of times here recently about what's going on overseas, and then naturally this sort of prompts investors to think about, hey, maybe that's something I should include in my portfolio. So the question is, as you put it, how do I even get started in that? And like anything else, there's a hard way to do it, and then there are easier ways. And the good news is that the easier ways have been getting even easier in recent years. So there's a lot of options out there for the average investor. So I think once you have an idea of what you want to do, there's plenty of opportunity to get it done.
So let's talk about those options.
Sure. We broadly think about investing overseas in two different types, if you will, direct and indirect. Okay. So when we talk about direct investing, that would be where you buy the shares of a specific company. So the hard way would be to register on a foreign exchange, go through all the legal hurdles to get that set up. You want to avoid that, obviously. So the easy way is that many large multinational foreign-based companies will sponsor a version of their shares on an American exchange. They're called American Depository Receipts, or ADRs. And most of the large, as I said, international corporations will do it. We're talking Toyota or a Nestle. So very easy to go just to the New York Stock Exchange and buy in your regular portfolio shares of these large companies. The downside, though, of course, is if you're wanting to invest in a startup company from India, you're not going to be able to find an ADR to take care of that. So that's where the indirect would come in.
Okay, so talk about indirect.
Right. So that's kind of a euphemism for a mutual fund, if you will.
Okay.
And you know, international stock mutual funds have been around for decades. It's nothing new. But 20 or 25 years ago, the mutual funds that you would typically come across were very broad in base. They had very many companies from very many countries in very many regions. So it was kind of a one-size-fits-all type approach, which still has use today. You can find a lot of those broad-based funds, and they have a lot of utility in an average portfolio. But there have been a lot of innovations in mutual funds and exchange-traded funds in recent years, and what this has done is really open the door to specialize your portfolio. So now instead of this one-size-fits-all, you can find funds that focus on specific countries, specific industries in specific countries, different regions, different continents. So anything that you can dream up in your portfolio, be it developed markets, developing markets, or a combination thereof, there are so many options out there that if you have an idea of something that you would like to invest in internationally, odds are you're going to be able to find something to fit that bill, no matter how narrow that focus might seem. So again, you know, these are the easy ways. There are so many options out there. Whether you're focusing on the Procter & Gamble of the world, or you want something as narrow as, hey, a startup in India, you can find something out there that's going to be able to give you that exposure.
Still sounds like a pretty broad topic to me, but it sounds like if you can narrow it down and do a little research.
Sure. And
I'm sure U.S. Bank could help with that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Mike. Interesting topic, and we appreciate you, and we appreciate U.S. Bank.
Thanks, Kelly.